Feel like I'm taking thermodynamics again. Ho-ho.
Oh, engineering references.
Yeah, we're both engineering students, and it's a miserable life.
I enjoy it. I'm just gonna directly contradict you immediately.
And at all turns.
Yup.
An Eggman. Alright, so we have a mech, treasure hunting, and mech stage to kick off. I think and honestly hope that the stage after this is Radical Highway.
That would be nice.
That's one of my favorite stages.
I like to play as a hedgehog character in our hedgehog game. Meanwhile, apparently the gun empire here sending its.
This is Eggman's secret base. How is it crawling with gun agents?
Yeah, how do they have the gun flags all about?
Yeah, that was the first thing they set up. They got their flags out. Like, we gotta let them know it's us.
Pageantry is above everything.
Clearly it is. I mean, have you seen our Navy uniforms? Those definitely aren't functional.
Navy zinger! Ah! I don't know what that was. That was a cry of a. It was like a dolphin on major testosterone, because normally it's like. We can do sound effects too.
Yeah, we are very talented individuals.
In fact, I can affect a sound out of the entire audience by.
A collective groan
Yup.
by telling terrible jokes.
I wonder if we can get if I can get any of those out.
Any of your terrible jokes?
Yeah, they'll come naturally.
It's like, yeah, it's a matter of time thing. It's a when, not an if.
I just have to get comfy, like one of those awesome lazy boy chairs. We have at my house the best chair. It's like corduroy. It's a fully corduroy chair.
You lost me at corduroy.
Oh, you don't know comfort until you've had corduroy.
I've had corduroy, and I think I have a pretty good idea of what comfort is.
I had like corduroy beach shorts one time over summer.
Oh dear.
It was the best.
That's not. I got him. I think that's points. That's something.
I felt like a cabana boy in the 20s. It was awesome. And then I ripped a gigantic hole in my crotch. Of the shorts, not of my crotch.
Because your dick is just so powerful.
Yeah, I teabagged while standing up.
Worst kind of asshole. I had 97 fucking points.
Drop that pit.
Freaking quicksand. Why would you build your base surrounded by so much freaking quicksand?
He's an evil villain. That's how these things work.
Yeah, but, you know, he's got to get there. He's got to get in and out. This has to make the morning commute just a nightmare.
He's probably got a nice little. He's got the Robotnik suite sitting up next to his office. Of course, knowing him, that's probably just like a bunk bed and a laptop. Like, I feel like Robotnik's home life has just got to be like really boring as shit.
I mean, he's very dedicated to his work. Which I guess is taking over the. I don't know what his end game is actually. I just know that Sonic fucks over with him.
Yeah, I think he just like lost all purpose at this point.
I mean, in the original, yeah,
he wanted to build a city in the original. He was just doing like good things.
Just being a freaking architect or something.
Yeah. He's like, all right, I'm gonna use little birdies to build my city. Whatever.
Use
deal
them
with
for
it.
fuel or whatever. And Sonic's like, no, I don't want you using animals. And Eggman's like, well, I'm gonna use animals. And Sonic's like, no, you're not. And then yeah, Sonic won.
Yep. It's like, come on, Sonic. It's the Matrix. Like, you're not Neo. The little birdies, they live in a little virtual birdie reality, which is probably a lot easier to do than making a human Matrix. Unless you arrange humans like 3x3. Then you have a nice human Matrix.
That's a math joke. If any of you didn't pick up on that. Which is probably most of you, because you have well-adjusted social lives.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know how many people with super well-adjusted social lives
Would be watching us?
Yeah. I had to stop myself a little bit there because I'm like, I'm going to put everyone who could be our potential audience on blast. Maybe that's not the best strategy.
No, it's okay. It's alright to make fun of your audience just immediately first episode. Audience, I hate you all.
Before I built up any goodwill, just immediately start the shit talking. You know, I got hit in the exact same spot last time and did not learn from it.
It's alright. That's what Montessori school is for. I don't even know what like Montessori school like really is.
I wish I had the freaking booster jets. I think that's an upgrade in this level that I get later. Because they would be super useful right now, because platforming is a challenge without them.
We don't want any challenges in our game.
Oh, of course not. It should be a breeze from start to finish.
Hashtag modern gaming.
I don't know. I think that criticism is a little unfair. I think just the way games are designed now is more narrative-driven than gameplay-driven, because the technology has allowed it to become so. So I think people are like, oh, games today are too easy. It's like, it's just a different kind of game.
I can get down with that.
And, you know, people praise games like Dark Souls for being, you know, difficult, but the thing about the things that make Dark Souls difficult aren't like, you know, well-designed, you know, enemies and
it's bigger numbers.
It's just freaking unfair bullshit. Like, I don't mind a game that's hard, but it's gotta be hard for the right reasons.
Definitely. Like, that's the only problem I've ever had with RPGs is that it's too much like number dial turning. Like, okay, we turn the dial up on these enemies.
Yeah.
Whereas, you know, I feel like the best kind of game should just be de facto there.
I don't know. I'm an RPG guy. I love RPGs. It's probably my favorite game genre. I really like the optimizing my party, you know, getting the best equipment, squeezing every little bit of stat I can squeeze out of it.
Right.
No, that's probably just the engineer in me.
Now, was that during an earlier episode with the very 3 types of games?
Yes.
Okay.
So, this is technically our first episode, but we did a couple of trial runs that we were thinking of publishing later, but due to technical detriments, those will never see the light of day. So, basically what we concluded is that you could break down every game ever into one of 3 categories. Spreadsheet games, rhythm action games, and puzzle games.
It's true. Name a game. Like, Kurt, name a game. I will throw it out there for you.
Legend of Zelda.
Definitely a puzzle game.
I would say Shadow of the Colossus is another puzzle game. Chrono Trigger.
Huh?
Chrono Trigger.
That's definitely a spreadsheet game.
That's a spreadsheet game, yeah.
With a little bit of rhythm action.
Well, yeah, a little bit, because Square's active battle systems, I think. I don't care for it. I usually turn it off because I like to plan my moves, and I always feel under like such pressure with the timer creeping up. I'm like, I gotta get my move off.
Exactly. Like, I tried playing. Must have been. I think it was Final Fantasy IX. That was the one. You had Vivi and you had the weird tongue dude who fought with forks. I feel like that was.
I haven't played
that was
9 in years. All I remember about 9 is that they had a character that was basically Han Solo.
Yeah, I think that was the main. That was the main character.
Yeah, they
like,
should have just named him not Han Solo. It's like when they did Punch-Out. They released Punch-Out for the Wii because of all the terrible shit Mike Tyson has done in his life. They couldn't use Mike Tyson anymore. So they made Mr. Dream, who basically should have been named not Mike Tyson.
Let's just blatantly use our copyright protected character.
Here we go. Radical Highway.
Look at this. Look at this flow.
This represents the best this game has to offer. This, City Escape, Metal Harbor, and actually that's about it. Those are like stages that I can defend as being legitimately good in this game.
Oh, I just had a great idea about Shadow Hedgehog. Because most of what I know about it is just okay, you're Shadow and you run and you shoot stuff.
Oh, yeah, the game
That would be
Shadow
awesome if you
Hedgehog.
combine this sort of gameplay with like a more top-down perspective and kind of blended like the shooter genre.
Like Cannon Spike? I don't know if you've ever played that game. It's a Dreamcast game.
Okay.
That had a bunch of like Capcom characters thrown in, like Cammy from Street Fighter was in it, and it's actually named after one of the moves from Street Fighter.
Okay.
Arthur from Ghosts and Goblins
Yep.
was in it, and a few other characters. But basically, it is kind of like a sort of isometric, sort of top-down shootery thing. And it's really fun. It's one of my favorite games on the Dreamcast.
Yeah, I feel like that would match up super well with this sort of thing
Just
because
the jump.
you know, at its core, you are doing linear, running,
Yeah.
and you want that sense of speed. So you could totally do a timer-based shooter where it's top-down. You have to shoot your enemies to keep you from slowing down, and you get to run. You get to do all the Sonic stuff.
I don't think Shadow the Hedgehog. I'm not gonna
Jet Fighters.
I'm not gonna sit here and say it was a good game because I don't even believe that. But I think it tried to do a lot of things and kind of suffered from a identity crisis. It didn't really know what it wanted to be because it had a lot of interesting features. It had multiple endings and branching stories. I mean, they weren't like super well developed. It basically boiled down to like perfect. Yeah, I'm
Got it.
Baller at the. We're not gonna make it.
Oh, really? Really?
It's better to take the high road because it's more difficult. Yeah, I fucked that up. Okay. It's better to take the high road because it's more difficult to take the low road.
That's a typical Sonic trope for any of you who have somehow not played Sonic game.
Nintendo fanboys, gross. Shit.
Gross. Yeah, we're both Genesis kiddos.
Yeah. Sorry for the lack of diversity in that regard, but you know what?
Whatever.
Sega.
Yeah, that's all you need to say. Vector Man. And
Shining Force. Lots of other games that I can't think of right now. We have the better version of Mortal Kombat.
We have the Tailspin game.
That's true.
That's key.
That's probably the crowning achievement. I think our versions of Aladdin and Lion King were better.
I like our Aladdin a lot better. Except for the freaking that carpet level, the genie carpet level. Nah, I ain't about that. Oh, you know what the Genesis had? Genesis had freaking Gunstar Heroes.
Oh yeah, Gunstar Heroes.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Best action.
Altered Beast and Golden Axe.
I think that is kind of like my one complaint with the Genesis, is that because the Genesis was to Nintendo back then what Xbox and PlayStation are to Nintendo now. Like,
yeah,
the Genesis was definitely wow. They had.
Well, actually,
throw that in that last one.
I'd say it's a lot worse back then than it is now.
Yeah. Well, because what I'm saying is,
You think console wars now are bad? Go back to 1990 and fucking.
I'm not just saying console wars. I'm saying that like the Genesis did so much of it was action and fighting games.
Yeah.
Where you had a lot more platformers on the Wii. Not the Wii.
The
SNES.
The SNES, yeah.
That's right. I can video games.
And that's why that's why I naturally.
Do you see Sonic's wonderfully puckered mouth?
Yeah. At least they don't do the like freaking epileptic seizure nonsense they did in the first game whenever they were talking. Like they had like 3 frames of animation they used to represent talking, and it never matched the mood of the situation.
Now it just kind of slides around like butter.
Yeah, that's an improvement, I'd say. Alright guys, the game came out in 2001. Maybe. Not exactly sure if that's true or not, but it's old as shit.
Oh, superpowers.
Chaos Control.
Zawarudo.
Which Sonic learns later in the game through the power of Deus Ex Machina. And if you cry spoilers, this is a 15-year-old game. You should know this by now, if you had any interest in it whatsoever.
How would you figure that out that fast?
Because
Sonic?
his mind is also the fastest thing alive.
Well, I mean, then fuck Tails. Just get him out of here.